Salutations, Mr. President. My name is Apostle Chris Levi Jono, the leader and founder of TDDP Mission, a Christian missionary network. Let me start, first of all, by saying congratulations for winning the election or the overwhelming victory. Now, let me humbly submit to you, just to go straight to the point, not to take too much of your time. The reason why you won the election is the act of obedience. To what? The National Prayer and Thanksgiving Service. The National Prayer and Thanksgiving Service is a covenant relationship with God with the nation. It was entered as a covenant to the nation through the late President John Evans Atta Mills. That's why when he was alive, he was holding the National Prayer and Thanksgiving Service. It wasn't just a service, it was a covenant over the nation. It was the same covenant relationship that made him win the election during his time. You remember that the election he won was decided by a small town called Time. Yes, it was that time that the covenant was being entered over the nation. And so when God told the late President Mills, if you obey my voice by doing this service as a covenant over the nation, I'll make you win the election. And indeed, he obeyed. So when he became the president and now you took over after his demise, the service supposed to be continued. Now, I don't know what happened, but the service was stopped in your tenure. That was the reason why you lost the election. That was the reason why your governance, getting to the late years of your governance, things became very bad. It was because you broke the covenant. That is the National Prayer and Thanksgiving Service. Now, during that time, the Lord spoke to us to reach out to you. We did everything possible, coming to Jubilee House, etc., but they never gave us the chance to reach you. Now, over the years, we did everything possible. Finally, to cut the long story short, during the time of your campaign, my office is in Nigeria. I came down and came to your office, tried to relate to you that this time, if you want to start and you win again, unless you correct this, because this is the very thing that is fighting you. Try as I may, finally, I got a chance to talk to your head administration in your office, campaign office, Callistus and Mahama. I handed over every document that had to do with the National Prayer and Thanksgiving Service, the way it's supposed to be conducted, things to be done. Now, later, I found out that you make an announcement, the first announcement in Hope, which later I got to them that was not the instruction of God. The second, the accurate instruction is what you did at the Mahama meet the clergy in Accra. The promise of starting the National Prayer and Thanksgiving Service. Now, the issue is, it is not you who is going to start it. If you don't get the understanding into it, your governance, even though you have won, it will so struggle. Because the National Prayer and Thanksgiving Service is not just a service, it's a covenant over the nation. And that covenant was not entered through you or by your promise. It is something that you broke. You abrogated. That is why things went against you. Now, you winning the election, it is because of your obedience to restore the National Prayer and Thanksgiving Service. In humility, I am not demanding the effort of men of God or your campaign team. But this is what it is in the presence of God, that you do not win the elections because of these men of God. Respectfully, you won the election because of your obedience that you restored the National Prayer and Thanksgiving Service. Now that you have won, this service had to be held, and there are instructions on how it's supposed to be held. Opportunity to meet you, then I can explain it to you. That's why I'm doing this video. Maybe I may not be able to meet you, but the message can get to you. So, first of all, your heart have to accept, so that the glory will not go to man. That, because in the media I'm hearing a lot of things, that people think that Hubert Angel, Osho Bempa, all these people are the reasons why there's something they did. That's why you won the election. But Mr. President, with all humility, that was not why you win the election. You won the election because of your obedience. Obedience of yielding to the fact that you will restore the National Prayer and Thanksgiving Service. Now, the restoration of the service should not be treated as a campaign promise. No, it is a covenant over the nation. If it is broken again, your governor will still go bad. The expectation of Ghanaians towards you becoming as a savior to the nation it will still not work. So what should you do? Mr. President, with all humility, I submit to you that you have to take the issue of the National Prayer and Thanksgiving Service serious. You must let God know that you won the election because of your obedience, not because of men of God, not because of prophecies, not because of any of these things. Because your opponent, Baumia, he did a lot of prophetic to him, but he never won the election. He also campaigned as you campaigned. So there were a lot of prophetic activity that went on, but he never won the election. It wasn't because the people who did the work for him are not powerful.